Good evening, and welcome to the sixth grade band concert. Thank you so much for your flexibility. And I know that it's 8 o'clock, and you probably want to go home and watch the Goldbergs, but you probably DVR'd it. But I'm Carrie Miner, I'm the principal here, and I'm so excited that you get to see these kids perform. I know it was hard yet last year, being on Zoom a lot, learning how to play the trumpet. So I just wanted to thank you for your support. I wanted to also thank Mrs. DeLine and Mr. Siebert for all their hard work with this performance. I asked when we dismiss, we're going to dismiss row by row so that we aren't all congested, and then you can, get your kid and then get in your car and you can go home for some ice cream, or you can go to Mitchell's or wherever you'd like to go. So I do want to thank you for joining us and enjoy the show. Please silence your cell phones. Good? Everyone looks so nice.
Before they move out of the way, I would like for low brass section, if you are new to band and or switched instruments to your current instrument, raise your hands, please. So quite a bit of that section are brand new. I think they've done an amazing job. They've met once a week during activity period. We're going to have them come up and join the rest of the band now. But they met once a week during activity period to get used to the transition to the new instrument and get our new people acclimated to being in band and playing an instrument. And we're just really proud of how they've done. So we would also like to welcome you to the first Orchard band concert since January 22nd, 2020, that's in person live with an audience. We are so grateful that we are able to be here tonight with all of you, and especially with all of them on the stage right now. We're so proud of our 150-member sixth grade band, 34 of which are either new to band this year or they switched instruments. So they're just doing an amazing job. We're really proud of them. They've come so far, and we cannot wait to see where they're going next. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Siebert to the podium, and he's going to conduct Starfire March. So both Starfire March and Rock Point 5 were chosen to sort of bridge the gap from where we were at the end of last year and what happens over the summer and the beginning of the year this year. So at the end of last year, for our virtual performance, they played essentially just trios. So there's just 3 different parts, and the songs were maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds total. And so these 2 songs take us from playing just 3 individual parts to playing, with 8 different instruments with much longer music. So with that, we're going to welcome Mr. Siebert back, and we're going to play Rock Point 5.
Got my paper on the side of the stage so I get a chance to do this. Let's welcome back to the stage my genius colleague, Miss DeLine. All right, so before we do our next tune, which is Shine, we're going to give you a little insight, a little how the sausage is made to how we learn our songs here in band, because it's a lot more than just plopping music down on a stand and play. So, all of our songs, we've broken down on a worksheet into 3 main parts. You got the melody, the harmony, and the bass line. So what we're going to do is right now we're going to demonstrate each part, show you how it sounds, and then play around with it a little bit, and then put it all back together. So here's the first part of Shine. On your programs, it's Rise and Shine, although the band first thing in the morning activity period, some of them haven't risen yet, and a lot of their faces aren't shining. But we still have a great time anyway. So here's Melody 2, right? 1. Melody 1 from Shine. the melody. You'll hear that all throughout the piece. That's the main part of the song. Next, we're going to play the harmony, which is, it beefs up the melody, gives a little bit of body, a little bit of a little bit of shape. And here's what it sounds like. Here's Harmony 1 from Shine. So it sounds a little bit different than the melody, kind of similar, but its main purpose is to beef up the melody there. So then our last section that we break apart here is the bass line, the foundation that holds it all together. So here's what the bass line sounds like. That's the bass line. So there's a couple reasons why we do this. The first is so that we don't get bored playing the part that's on our page. So flutes don't always get stuck with melody, trombones don't always get stuck with bass line. They learn each one of the parts and it gives them something interesting to play. Another reason we do this is so that we can be aware as we listen. Sitting in an ensemble like this with a lot of people, we got to know what we're listening for and what to listen for, so it gives us a chance to play it ourselves and hear it. And the last reason we do it is to do cool stuff like this. Out of those 3 parts that they just played, they're going to pick whichever one of those parts they want. They can totally at random. We've been doing it for the past 2-3 weeks now, and each time it's different. So now they're going to pick their own part, kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure book. And this is going to be something brand new than they've ever played before. Or it's going to sound something brand new. So that combination was something, it was those 3 parts put together in a totally different order than they've ever done before. But first thing I got to ask, raise your hand if you thought melody was the loudest. Okay, I see you, Andre, yeah. Raise your hand if you thought harmony was the loudest. Okay, I know what's coming next. Raise your hand if you thought bass line was the loudest. Yeah, bass line, that's where it's at. All right, so now we're going to play those same 3 parts as the composer intended it, how it's written on the page that they're going to be playing next. So here's how it's supposed to sound. So see if you can listen for that in our next piece here, which is Shine.
I would like to mention that on Shine, there is a section where we're going to feature each of our instrumental sections.
So just a few things before we begin our last piece here. First things first, I want to just take a little stroll down memory lane. And I would also like to say, you know, a lot of great groups, a lot of great organizations, a lot of great bands overcome adversity. And this group of sixth graders right here, they've overcome a lot of adversity. So let me just name a few, all right? So first, some of these musicians up here, they started on Zoom, all right? They learned their instruments over Zoom. They put their instrument together over Zoom. They stickered their flute over Zoom, all right? A lot of stuff that we normally take care of in-house was taken care very independently by themselves with our help over Zoom. Some of them, we didn't meet until August of this year. I'll be honest. I'll be the first to admit, with that first day of band, someone came up to me, I'm like, they're like, Mr. Siebert. I go, hi. And then once they're like, it's me. I'm like, oh, I've seen you on a screen, and I didn't know what you looked like. So some of these people we haven't seen since August, and putting them in an ensemble like this, making music like this, is absolutely astonishing. Also, with our rotation schedule from last year, seeing them 3 weeks at a time, sometimes, you know, it was a little challenging, but they overcame those challenges. They stepped up to the plate, they hit home runs, scored touchdowns, whatever you want to say, they took care of their business. And also, last year we didn't have activity period. A lot of the stuff that we learned here, those three-part things, sausages made, all that stuff, we did an activity period. And having that has helped out so much, helping them overcome the adversity that they were faced with. So, before I go on with that, let's give them a big round of applause for overcoming all the adversity that they took care of. And then lastly, before our final tune, I need to say some thank yous. So first of all, thank you to Mrs. Miner, to Mr. Sharaba for helping us with everything every single day at Orchard. Thank you to Mr. Malden, Mr. Luce, and Ms. Scott for helping us prepare the music with logistics, all the parts and pieces that go into that. Thank you to Mr. Ferenczi for getting the stage set up for us, all the lights, all the presentations, and actually a thank you to the high school wind ensemble for setting this stage up today with a lot of chairs and a lot of stands. A thank you to Mrs. Perez and Mr. Lyons for helping us get everybody in their seat tonight. Also, a thank you to Mrs. Betty Jean Quimby. She helped us, she was with us last year, get this group of sixth graders started when they were in fifth grade, so shout out to her. And also a huge thank you to all of you for supporting your children, your students in their endeavors in band and listening to, hopefully, a lot of the practice that is going on at home. So a huge thank you to you. Round of applause for yourselves. And for our last tune, we'd like to welcome Mr. Mark Malden to the stage. He's going to play some guitar with us for Mechanical Monsters.